Hi, my name is Michelle Fitzgerald, and today we're going to learn a little bit about working with L-rods, which is a dowsing device. I'm the director of a training organization called the Senzar Learning Center, where we use all kinds of intuitive techniques, including dowsing, including working with dowsing rods, to help us with basically with our manifestation efforts, when we're trying to create better health, better relationships, more money, whatever it might be. Your intuitive abilities can be harnessed and really help you in a very positive way in that regard. So today I'm going to teach you how to use dowsing rods to work with to do things as simple as getting yes/no responses to intuitive questions you might ask, to do things as simple as find spots in your space where there might be detrimental energy that is influencing your health or perhaps influencing your financial affairs or whatever it might be. Many times thought forms are actually things, and they can actually be left in a space and cause results over time. Our spaces are like reflections of us, and we can get thought forms attached to us, or we can generate thought forms from our own mind and feelings, and those thoughts and feelings generate the outcomes we experience. So our space can hold thoughts and feelings from ourselves and from other people that can affect outcomes. We can generate thoughts and feelings that generate outcomes. And dowsing, especially using dowsing rods, can find especially freestanding thought forms that might be in a space, or thought forms that might be attached to an object that might be causing you trouble and creating interference with your efforts to create positive outcomes with things like law of attraction principles. Most of you are probably familiar with basic law of attraction principles. So let's get started. These are dowsing rods. They're just simple little metal rods. You can make them out of coat hangers. That's typically what I do. I just take a coat hanger, I clip the metal, I'll bend it to get an L-shaped look like this, and I'll just hold the rods. These are a little bit fancier. They've got little copper sleeves on them. I can't remember where I bought these, but there's plenty of websites online that you can go to and you can purchase dowsing rods. I used to make them for people. I don't make them anymore, but they're easy to make yourself and they're very easy to buy online. But they're just little teeny copper rods. You hold them like this. Again, I'll show you against this wall so you can see very easily. Just very lightly in your fisted hand like this, and just very gently so that they can just swing within your hand, so they can easily move back and forth like that. What the rods are going to do is they're very fine, almost like antenna, and they're going to amplify, they're going to pick up and amplify signals, little neuromuscular signals that are happening in your body when you ask for intuitive information. So dowsing rods are especially, I think, fantastic dowsing tools for brand new dowsers especially. Now, I've been dowsing for about 30 years. I taught myself how to dowse, and my first dowsing tool was dowsing rods. I use them still to this day a lot, but I love them for teaching new dowsers because they're so powerful as amplifiers. And when you first start dowsing, those little signals, that neuromuscular signals that come down your arms and fingers that actually move the pendulum or whatever dowsing device you're actually using, rods, you can have a very weak signal and rods can pick that up. So I highly recommend that you learn how to do this. Plus, they're very versatile, as you're going to see. So we're going to start with just a little how do you do basic programming of your system so you can get what's called an information readout from the rods that you can interpret from an information standpoint. How do you start? And we're going to just begin by, well, when you ask an intuitive question, usually when you begin dowsing, you start by learning you start by asking questions that require a simple yes or no answer. So dowsing rods are perfect for that. We're going to ask an intuitive question such as, in my space, do I have any detrimental energies, forces, or influences that are having a harmful effect on my financial goals or my finances? You could ask a question like that. Or on my health. Just yes or no. My program, what I've taught my body how to do is, if the answer to a question is yes, I have instructed my body that I want it to make little signals to move my rods so they go like that. They make an X. So you start by holding the rods like this arms down by your side, parallel to your body. Relax your shoulders. If you're too tense and you can't breathe easily, you're going to have a very difficult time getting smooth dowsing results. So take a few breaths, maybe tighten up your chest and relax it. Loosen your arms, get them down by your side. Hold the rods, your arms parallel to your body, like this. Hold the rods straight out in front of you, like this, on a horizontal plane, and then drop them down about 5 degrees. Usually that's what's called a good balance point, but you'll find your own perfect balance point. Studies have been done that have just shown that usually it's about 5 degrees slant down, but it can vary from person to person. So if the rods are too high, if you're pointing them up too high like this, you'll have no control whatsoever. If they're too low, if they're pointed down like this, it's very hard to move them, for the little twitches in your body to move them. So we're going to just try to find that balance point, which is typically about, again, right parallel in front of you, arms by your side, rods pointed down about 5 degrees. And we're going to start by saying, if the answer to my question is yes, body, here's what I'd like you to do. I'd like you to give me an X, just an X. If the answer is no, I'd like you to give me this. Open up the rods like this. And again, you're just going to show your body to do that. Purposefully move the rods that way. Then you're going to attempt to do that without purposefully moving the rods. So you're going to say, please show me my yes. We're going to see if we can get the rods to move. See, I'm talking too fast. I'm not breathing very well. And that caused a slower dowsing response. So there's my yes. There's my no. There's my yes. There's my yes. Let's see if I get it. Come on. Breathe. And there's my no. Okay, so that's simple yes, no. Now, these videos can't run too long, so I'm going to stop the video here and to get them up on YouTube. So I'm going to stop the video here and we'll continue with part 2 on how do you find direction. That's how you get yes, no, which you can use to gather all kinds of information. Again, are there any detrimental energies, forces, or influences in my space that are having a harmful effect on my health, or a harmful effect on my relationships, or a harmful effect on my finances? And you start with yes or no. And again, yes is just yes, and no is no, and you start with that. We'll come back for video number 2, and I'll show you how to take it from yes, no to something a little more meaningful, like where is the harmful energy, or where can I raise beneficial energy. We'll talk a little bit